Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on and thank everyone who's checked on me lately or shared my GoFundMe or donated. And I don't normally do videos, but it's pretty hard for me lately to be on screens or type for very long. Hard for me to talk for very long too, but felt a little easier today. We'll see. And a lot of that has to do with the things that I write about my health conditions in my GoFundMe. It's hard for me to even sit for very long or hold my head up. And I've had a lot of anger lately that I've had chronic health conditions my whole life. I knew I was sick, but had to kind of fight for care. Now I'm 44 and kind of needing urgent attention for me to have a normal quality of life. And if providers had listened to me earlier, it wouldn't be so urgent. I'm thankful for a couple of amazing providers I finally encountered. I think they know who they are right now. It's still a struggle and it's not easy. And I say that because I know a lot of people want to know what the cure or the treatment is or what the future holds for me, and I don't really know. For example, the other day I was scouring through research articles to make sure I had everything together to share with providers that I needed to advocate for myself. And some of those articles are currently inaccessible because our federal government has made things inaccessible right now because they're seen as quote-unquote woke because I have certain words in there. A lot of my chronic conditions are not necessarily that, what's the word I'm looking for? I have a lot of brain fog because my brain's, sagging out of my head and a variety of other things going on. Rare, that's the word. They're not necessarily that rare. They're not super common, but they're not necessarily that rare. They're just underdiagnosed perhaps because, they affect a certain demographic that gets treated poorly in this country. Generally people who are oppressed, marginalized, etc. I come from a people who were intentionally starved. The Irish and Native people, Cree, my mom, Irish, my dad. I'm survivors of both. People from the Irish Great Famine, as well as those who survived intentional starvation through government policies in Canada, through nutritional experiments. And there's a lot of research that shows that changes your genes, and it changes how you respond to nutrition. And so I say that because I am going to advocate for myself as much as I can, but I also understand that I'm one person in the midst of a larger system, because what I'm witnessing, what all of us are witnessing in Palestine right now, specifically in Gaza, is a macrocosm, if I may, a manifestation of this. I've always advocated, and not advocated in this kind of paternalistic, charitable sense, but in solidarity with people who are just as, if not, if I may, more marginalized or oppressed than me. Again, not that it's a competition, but hierarchies have been imposed on us, so we have to recognize that. And I don't do that because I'm less important than somebody else, but I know that if people who are more marginalized, more oppressed than me get their rights, I'll automatically benefit from that. And also because it's the right thing to do. From taking care of a bee that was struggling on outside because it doesn't have enough water, to advocating for Palestinians. And again, advocating, not in this paternalistic way, but demanding, knowing that if Palestinians don't have their rights, don't have their freedom, their liberation, their autonomy, their self-determination and sovereignty to govern themselves however they want, and to, for crying out loud, have food and water and safety and shelter and care for each other that they can offer with dignity and safety, then what hope do I have for getting a minuscule amount of decent treatment for my chronic health conditions. So I say that because, I hope I get some decent care, but I'm not expecting much when Palestinians can't even get aid trucks in, can't even broadcast their horror, and the world actually believe them that they deserve life. This isn't new. They've been starving since the beginning. They've been broadcasting their horror for more than 2 years. Let's be real. But it's just been a ramp up in the past almost 2 years, since October of 2023. So I say this because when we fight for the most marginalized among us, we all win. When we fight for the most powerful, we all lose. So I thank folks for fighting alongside me sometimes. But when I fight for other people, it is a fight for myself. It's not because I don't love me. It's because I do love me. Anyway, free Palestine. Let Haiti be free. And while we're at it, don't forget, we're on stolen, occupied land here too. Free Turtle Island, free Abiyala, free all of this hemisphere is what I mean, the Americas. And when we do that, we have a chance for everybody to be free. Kinis Compton. Hi, Eximaka.